Hi everyone, I'm Tim from Revolution Bike Park and welcome to the first of what's hopefully going to be a series of vlogs regarding sort of progress at the park and what we've been up to. I'm going to do one of these sort of every now and again as and when there's stuff to report, but we promised we'd try and take you guys along with the journey, so this is a part of that. So highlights over the last few weeks, we had the sort of last days at the park. Hopefully you checked out the video on YouTube. It was an interesting day. On the one hand it was really fun, lots of great people, lots of sort of friendly faces. Everyone had a great time and it was a really nice day. I think for me, it was slightly mixed emotion days. I found it quite difficult in some ways for probably reasons you can imagine. Whilst it was sort of nice to be around everyone and everyone was great, I kind of felt a little bit sort of sad about the whole thing and kind of busied myself with jobs for most of the day. And it kind of just sort of came and went. But yeah, no, it was a nice day. I think everyone had a good time and it was, seemed at least like a sort of fitting send off for the park. Since closing, James and I have been focusing predominantly on sort of sorting everything out. There's sort of 10 years of things to go through and organise, things like that. Most of my time, to be honest, has been spent cleaning. I spent the first sort of few days lying in the mud underneath Land Rovers with a jet wash, sort of cleaning them off and sort of getting them all sorted so that our mechanic Lee can go over them all, sort of do any sort of final big jobs that we want to get done before we put them away, and then just give them a sort of once over, so we sort of know where they all stand before we sort of pack them away and tuck them in for a little while until we can use them again. Also been spending some time sort of sorting out the burger van and sort of removing, cleaning that up and everything like that and just getting it all settled and ready to sort of be put away as well. James has spent quite a lot of time sorting out the yard, just going through everything, making space so we can put stuff away. And he's also been up doing some more work on the uplift road. Kind of seems a bit odd why we'd be doing that given we're closing, but basically we've been sort of putting in some additional drainage stuff so that over time while it's been left, the road's not going to get eroded away and damaged too much, which obviously then is a huge job we'd have to do before we could reopen. So like I say, last couple of weeks have been sort of pretty sort of boring, sort of just cleaning up and tidying up type jobs, nothing particularly exciting to report on that front. In the meantime, we have also though been sort of working on the forestry stuff. There's not been a lot of progress in that area, to be honest. I think as we sort of said in one of the previous videos, timber pricing is really low at the moment and it's a really bad time to be trying to sell a forest typically. So we're sort of going through the motions with a lot of contractors and things like that to figure out who's going to do the work to remove the trees and what the sort of offer they're making for the trees is. But we think we're probably going to end up deferring a little while and waiting till a bit more into the summer before we actually start the work. But we just got to see how that plays out, and obviously we'll keep sort of up to date. But yeah, obviously still progressing with removing the forest and everything like that. The weather here, I'm sure as it has been for most of the people in the UK, has been really, really cold since Christmas. To be honest, even if we'd have not been closing when we did, we'd have been closed right now anyway. As I speak, outside the door, it's literally just sheet ice, and the whole hill is pretty much just sheet ice. Similar to how it was back sort of in early December. So we wouldn't have been able to run right now anyway. And to be honest, whilst, it's all a bit moot now, part of the reason we took the decision to close when we did was to avoid situations like this. I think we said in one of the updated videos a while back that we were sort of praying to get to the end of the year with good weather. We didn't in the end. We lost 7 days to ice and snow, which was, to be honest, was pretty devastating. That's put a massive hole in the sort of finances for going forward. Not so much that it's sort of, means we can't go forward, but yeah, pretty much kind of halved what we had left in reserves. And I think had we have decided to continue, losing this, probably 5, 6, maybe even 7 days this week, would have been really devastating for the park. As we've said in the past, we expect to lose days during the winter. It sucks, but it is kind of what it is when you're running this kind of business. But we make up for it in the summer. Obviously this year, had we continued running, we wouldn't have made it up into the, we wouldn't have had a summer to make up for it. So yeah, we're sort of, I guess it doesn't really matter one way or another at this point, but our sort of joking fear was that we'd reopen, or we'd close, sorry, after Christmas, and then we'd have a beautiful mild January and February, which would have been wonderful to keep running through. But so far, literally, I say, first week, too cold to run. If we were to lose any more weeks, which the winter's far from done, I think it would have been really bad for the future of the park. So, at least at the moment, as painful as it is, it seems like making that decision to close, after Christmas was the right one. So in the process of sorting everything out, one thing that we've sort of realised, which we knew it anyway, was that we actually have quite a lot of stuff that we've sort of accumulated over the last 10 years. And a lot of it's pretty good stuff that, it'd be a shame for it just to be sort of thrown in our shed and left for the next few years until it's probably obsolete. So what we've actually done is we've set up an eBay shop. It's called Revo Surplus. I'll put the link in the description for it. On there, we're going to basically be selling off just a load of stuff that we've got left over. It's going to be a real random assortment, mixture of new and used stuff. We've got lots of sort of bike parts that have been left over from the hire bikes over the years. We have components, some of it brand new, some of it second hand. We've got merchandising stuff, and just lots of other random things which are probably going to be more use to someone out there than they are to us. So we're going to stick them on there. That'll help to generate a bit of revenue for the park. But also, hopefully there'll be some bargains on there that you guys might be interested in. So like I say, check out the link. It's called Revo Surplus. And hopefully by the time this video goes up, there should be some stuff up on there if you want to have a look and see if you can grab yourself a bargain. So that's about it for this vlog update. Hopefully you've sort of been following along with the channel. You'll have seen that we did the Canyon video recently, where sort of my thoughts on the Canyon bikes and using them as hire bikes. We've got another one coming up in a week or so's time, which is based around protection gear and injuries at the park, which you might find quite interesting. So we're going to be doing a mix of videos on the channel. Some, like this, which will be just dedicated to what's happening at the park, the future of the park. But there'll be some more sort of, other content that we think might be interesting to you. So yeah, please check it out and do all the subscribing and liking and all that stuff if you're interested in seeing more. So I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully that's given you a little bit of information as to what we've been up to the last few weeks. Like I say, we will be back again in a few weeks' time with another update as and when things happen. But yeah, in the meantime, take care of yourselves and we'll see you in the next video.